For a few questions I got about one of my videos, where I talked about Mexico before while playing Battlefield Hardline. So I'm just gonna cover some of those real quick. I'm gonna be playing on public match, so there is a chance I might end up playing with other people, but yeah. I'm gonna do this map because I know my way around this map pretty well. I got the gumballs that I like. Yeah. If you guys would prefer that I have a webcam, let me know and I'll try to get this stuff to set that up. Hello guys. There we go. Sorry the mic volume is all the way down. What's up guys? Stimpy! It's Stimpy! Wait, no, that's Ren. Stimpy, you idiot. Alright. Yeah. Alright. I like this emblem. This is why I'm doing this. Look at that dude's emblem. That is totally Ren from Ren and Stimpy. I'm so happy right now. Boyo or Bad Yo, one of the two. I can't remember. I didn't see it long enough. His emblem. Hopefully this is not gonna glitch out or something. Come on. Well, this thing may have froze, so I get the chance to talk about what I was gonna talk about. Alright, so in that video, I was talking about Che Guevara. For those of you who don't know who Che Guevara is, he had a very large role to play in the Cuban Revolution, where they basically overtook Batista down in Cuba. And basically what ended up happening was when he was a kid, after he graduated, got his medical degree from Buenos Aires, he then basically drove around South America on a motorcycle. I think he called it like El Chapepe or something weird was his motorcycle. I can't remember the name of the motorcycle, but he had a name for it. He like literally made names for a lot of things. Like he had this one shirt, he called it the Weekly shirt, where he'd wear it for like an entire week. And when he was a kid, they used to call him Pig Boy because he didn't like wasting water for taking baths. But one of the things that was most notable, when he was doing trips around South America, he noticed that in most of the countries where they have a large poor population, they also have a lot of American jobs. Like how on the news you'll see, oh, a whole bunch of jobs went to Mexico or whatever. A lot of South American countries had coal mines, oil fields, all these different like things. Like you remember in Chile that mine that collapsed a while back? Like you notice that all like the large industrial revenue things that would make a lot of money for a region, like the natural resources, were owned by the United States. They weren't owned by the local people in the area. And he started to notice that all the actual places where they could get money were owned by the United States. So like when you send jobs down to Mexico, you're basically helping the company, the American company, out more than you're actually helping the people of Mexico or whatever region, because whenever a country gets job opportunities, the people that work there will, as a whole, will never make more than the company does. The company always makes the most money and then sends it back to the United States. So for every dollar the people working there make, the company's basically going to make two. And at that scale, and not only that, but most of the products on those factories are going to end up being sold to the people in that country. So they're going to end up buying a product which is going to make the company an additional amount of money, because the company still owns the product that they made, that the workers made. The company still owns that product, which is another reason why they'll always make more than their workers. Because the product that the workers make is more valuable than what they make working there. Like if they were to make everything themselves and sell it, they would make a lot more than what they do. But like honestly, if that company was owned by a Mexican citizen instead of owned by the American CEO that went down there to set everything up, I mean, even the managers and stuff down there don't make that much. I mean, and Mexico, I don't think they even have a minimum wage system. I don't know about that, so I'm not gonna say I know for certain, because I don't know about that part. But that was the one thing that Che Guevara always talked about when he went down to Mexico. All the poor areas have basically, the United States came in and like took over all the real expensive money making jobs, and then basically paid the people in the area to work for them. So sending jobs to Mexico actually hurts people in Mexico more than if it was a job that was created by a Mexican citizen. And the same for like basically all of South America. You get a job that's not created by someone from your country. If the revenue stream that's being made by that product goes to another country, then you lose money. Look at the United States and China. China's buying all the Chinese products left and right, and most of the companies that are actually doing this, they're all Chinese companies. And it's really bad. And most of the companies over here in the United States actually just... Oh, hey, one of my friends messaged me. A lot of the companies over in the United States, they literally just go and find like a company over in China, and then they just pay them to put their product name on whatever they're making. They sometimes send them design specifications, and then they literally just like pay them, just make it for me. Because it's a lot cheaper than having to deal with the EPA here in the United States, the Environmental Protection Agency. They have like 1,000 laws on basically making toys. But you go to China, there are no laws on making toys. You could literally have a plastic, like a water pistol or something made, like, and buy it for like $3 a thing. If you're buying 1,000 of them, then the individual prices always are smaller. Like if you're buying them at like $1 a piece, it usually means you're buying 1,000 of them for $1,000. But like if you're only buying 50 of them, you might have to pay $100, because the smaller the order, the more expensive they are. And if you're only buying like one, they might make you pay like $60, $70 just for the one, because you're basically wasting their time just making them make one. But if you make them go into full-scale production, then they'll lower the overall price of them, because they'll be in continuous work. But I mean, like, seriously, like, most of these CEOs, they know the names of the Chinese companies that, like, you send them specs, they'll build stuff for you. And in China, people forget China is still a communist country, so you can get killed if you basically don't make enough. Like if you don't make enough products, there's literally a law in China where if your company doesn't produce its quota of products it needs to do, just like Apple or anything, if the CEO doesn't make enough, you can be executed. There was a refrigerator company where that happened a while ago. Apparently, they're supposed to like only screw up one every 100, and they ended up screwing like, I think it was like, they ended up screwing like 50 of them up per 100. So the CEO and all the workers ended up getting executed because they weren't working properly. And you would think like that wouldn't be a real thing, but it is, because they still have a dictator, they're still communists and everything. People forget that a lot. And you know what happens when you're in debt to a country a certain amount? Same thing that happens when you're in debt to a bank a certain amount. They repossess and foreclose. And once we probably end up becoming in debt to China for about what the amount of land and materials and everything inside the United States is worth, then they're probably just going to come and just take it. Because technically, like, if you want to be technical about it, if you were to take the value of every single last thing in the United States, all the buildings, all the cars, everything, and you were supposed to like estimate it, that's probably about the value of everything. That's probably about what the value of what it would be before they foreclosed or what have you. And a lot of people like just forget about this stuff and just put it in the back of their mind. I mean, like, I went to Baja, California. For those of you who do not know, that is not a part of California. That is the part of Mexico underneath California. I went to a place called Tijuana. It's right on the border. But, like, the deeper you go into Mexico, the, like, pretty much the worse it gets in certain areas. Like, I ended up driving past one of the slums down there because we accidentally drove into Mexico. We were supposed to walk into Mexico because there's an area where you can walk across the border and you can actually go in there, and it was pretty cool. They actually had an archway down there that had like 4 or 5 languages on it. You literally had English, Korean, Chinese, and like something else crazy on it. It was like really weird. I guess technically you probably wouldn't need Spanish on it because the people that live there probably already know what it is, but yeah, it was pretty weird. It looked just like that place in California where they have that Chinese, because we did go to Los Angeles and we did see the Chinese theater. And that Chinese theater place, honestly, that thing looks a lot like the archway down in Baja, California. I should have made a video of it while I was there. But yeah, this thing's totally screwed up. Apparently I can't get to play a game today, but I guess that's for the best, because if I'm not playing, I can talk a lot more, discuss a lot more stuff. I think whoever was decided to be the host get glitched out or something. That or it wouldn't let me connect. One of the two. I don't know, but my friend just messaged me a couple minutes ago. But thank you guys so much for watching, listening to what I have to say. And yeah, honestly, if Mexico wants to grow their economy to be bigger, they need to start ramping up their industrial efforts and start making, like, basically become China. Like, with the factories, not the communists, and that'd be bad. But like factory-wise, they need a like large industries and everything. Because I wouldn't mind, like, if I had a lot of money, I'd probably just move there and help them start stuff. I mean, it might not be financially wise to do that, but I mean, like, if you were to make a whole bunch of products there as a factory and then just literally just walk them across the border into the United States, then it'd be cool. But the problem with that is it's so hard to drive across the border. Like, seriously, like, I think they need to make areas for just like cargo. Like, literally one of the only places that can actually get their cargo out of Mexico reasonably well are the airplane industries. Like, you throw it on an airplane, you can fly it out no problem. But like, if you were to buy like a private cargo plane or something, like a surplus cargo plane, something, and you would just like fly it over. I mean, as long as you had like the right with paperwork or something with the aircraft, whatever administration authority. I can't even remember what their names are. But if you could get someone in the United States that was actually like a pilot that could do that, then you could just make a runway wherever, like near wherever factory, wherever it is. Then it would probably work out pretty well, actually. I actually kind of want to try that now, but I don't have any money, so I can't. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, yes, so much for watching, listening. I'm gonna go now, but this is just a recap on the other video. If any of you had any questions about that one. But yes, I have actually been to Mexico, and it was pretty awesome. My throat's starting to get dry because I've been talking for a long time. Sorry, guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Like, I can literally talk until my throat gets dry about stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go now. See you all later. Bye, guys.